Welcome to CATtheMinion Patreon. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. I'm doing the October deep dive reading for Cancer. This is anyone who has Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. Also, if you're gonna get clobbered by the 2 new moons in October, the 2 full moons in October, Jesus Christ. If you think you're going to be feeling the effects of those 2 full moons in October and the new moon in the middle there somewhere, this would be the reading for you. What else is moon energy doing? I don't know. Not much else that I know of right now. So anyway, I hate it when I screw up like that. I'm using my charms. I just added some more. So I got 195 of them in there now because I counted them like 3 times because I couldn't keep track of what I was doing. I'm using the Work Your Light Oracle in place of, in this reading, where normally tarot cards would be, because that's what I was guided to do. I have my music deck that I made for myself. If you're interested in having a copy of it. Why is there a fly in my room now? I keep getting interrupted every time I try to do something. It's driving me nuts. If you want one, you can get one for free. You just have to print it out yourself. I'll email you the PDF. Why with the bugs? Oh my god. Unrelenting. Goddamn bullshit. That fly comes out of my lamp, I'm gonna get it. The Dreams of Gaia Tarot. And in place of where an oracle would usually be, I've been guided to use the Syrian Starseed Tarot. So we'll see how this works out. Oh my god. I'm gonna get this all over my sewing machine because it has stink bug on it from earlier. The reading that I'm doing this month for the deep dive horoscopes is called Block Moguls. And the way that it works is there's 3 columns. One is for your 3D self, for your day-to-day. The second column is for the 5D, which is your higher self. And that's where the moguls are. The third column is what I'm just shorthand calling the 5D squared. It's like if your higher self was in a committee of other higher selves working on a project together as like a soul family or a soul group. And, you know, it's like you're running a science experiment, but somebody's got to do the computers, somebody has to hook up the test subjects, somebody else is doing the interviews, and someone else is like catering and stuff like that. So this is how it is with this directive that's coming down. And the 5D is going to have 3 cards, and that's going to be where the moguls are. It's sort of what you're not picking up. Okay, I guess that's a double. What your 3D self is not picking up that's coming down. There's sort of a, what the challenge is. What your higher self is really trying to communicate to you in some way. I also have, these are all in the challenge position. I also have 4 columns, and the first column is Wands energy. That's the core being of yourself. It's your like prime directive for your life. I don't want 5 cards. I don't know which ones I'm supposed to take. I'm going to put them back in. It's that, like, what drives you, what your goal, like your core drive is in life. That solar center, that, like, who are you really? The second column is emotions. It's cups. It's, you know, what's traveling in on the psychic waters. And the frequency. It's the net. The third column is swords energy. That's going to be perceptions and thoughts and communication. And the fourth column is Pentacles energy. That's the physical body, its manifestation, its resources, money, things of that nature. So I'm just going to finish laying out these cards and throw down some charms, and then I'll get into the reading. I don't feel like that's right either. That's why I don't like it when I accidentally see the cards, because it makes me judgmental of where they get put. That might even be the same card, I don't know. I feel like these cards have the most variety in the back of the deck that I've used in a while, because everything else was sort of like gray and black and blue for a couple days. But I kind of am getting to the point where I need another deck. But I get some financial constraints on that. I'm also getting to the point where I kind of want, like, more. I'm getting to a point where I really want to get some more Barbie stuff too. I kind of need to finish the dolls that I've got, so I kind of want to get a new one to open, because I can do an unboxing video. But I also kind of should get the parts that I need to finish customizing my Harley Quinn so that she'll be done. And I know that to finish Harley Quinn it's going to be like $50, which is more than I should spend on that right now. To see how I feel in a couple of weeks. People want to donate to the adding to the available decks and or plastic crack playlist. Okay, I'll just hit the tip jar there. PayPal.me/CATtheMinion. Plus I have Cash App and Venmo. Always help strengthen the channel. I'm not going to do that like Amazon wishlist thing, because I don't want people, well, I guess with a wish list people only send you what you want, but I'm very particular to what decks I let into my energy and when. So it would be a secret until I got it. Plus there's some decks that I want to get that aren't on Amazon, so that would also follow. Okay. So I've just spread the charms out so they're not loose on the table. And I'm trying to get this whole scene in here. You kind of see a little bit of the oracle card down there. So let me check my focus. And we'll get into the reading. This reading is probably going to kick my own ass because I have a Cancer ascendant. I need to blow my nose. Dust in my sinuses and dirt ground deeply into my fingers because I was doing some critical cleaning this week. Alright. So the Wand's energy, we start with, okay, soul family. call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Coming in the slot in the soul family area. And look at this over here in the emotions. Same fucking humpback whale. Star Trek 4. Oh, I don't have a dolphin. God damn it. No, I do have a dolphin. Okay. So this came in inverted. And it's sort of the way that I'm seeing it is there's a delay or confusion. So I feel like, especially with this card, came in with the message in a bottle charm and the cello inverted. Now, the cello to me it sometimes means whale song, I've discovered today. So I get this idea of we're gonna leave a message for you, and it's gonna seem like we're not there, but trust that we're coming and we're working on part of it that you don't know about. Okay? So it's this directive is saying have faith. Like, your purpose in life is to have faith that you have a team and that they will be there at a preordained time, even though it seems like there's infinite delays, and that they're not going to come. Like, they will be there. They're out there doing some legwork, right? They had some emergencies come up, some other energies that had to be wrangled, and it seems like they're not in contact. You know, maybe the waves have come in and it doesn't seem like it's coming. But the thing is with whale song is that it's like very low frequency and it travels over great distances, right? So it's like you kind of have to tune your ear to this sort of like underground vibration of your soul family to be able to get that message, because it's in there. The message will be intact, but it's gotta have this universal flow to get there. And in the meantime, it feels like you're all by yourself. But this sort of directive for Cancerian energy that's coming up in October that says you need to harness the energy of sort of like maintaining your station. It's a little bit Nine of Wands, but it's like something that you have to learn. It's like, in order to come out of this nobody loves me energy, you need to be able to know that you have your team. And the delay is to sort of imprint this idea that they're gonna be there. What the fuck is that fly? Anyway, what's coming down in the 3D from this message? Six of Cups. Wow, this is really matchy-matchy. It looks well, pretty much like one of these ladies here. Like they've just popped up out of the water and here they are underneath the water. I think this is Sun in Scorpio. Is that what it is? Yeah, the Sun in Scorpio. This is this sort of like reminiscing about the past. Like, let me give you this bracelet that belonged to your grandmother kind of energy. So it's sort of like you might not feel your soul family with you. You might not feel your ancestors and guides. But if you hold on to sort of memories or some kind of token that has to do with them, there's a way for you to tap into that energy and have a little bit of stability even at the 6, which is sort of a lower vibration, but at least it's like a level that you can stand on. So going, I had two charms here. They were both inverted. So I have a happy mask and the no symbol. Yeah, I'm getting this, like, I thought nobody likes me, and I'm putting on this mask and trying to be happy, even though I feel like I don't belong anywhere. But just having, like, one little token of something that connects you to a greater soul, experience, right? It's like I just need one little ray of light in this while I'm in this underground. Right? Just one. Just one little piece of glitter, that's all I need. I just need, you know, I need a drop of water to keep me from dehydrating. So these are all in the challenge position. The eyeball. That's could be the third eye. It could be, look at this. So I have the 10 of Wands in a challenge position. This is Red Light. Eddie Murphy featuring Snoop Lion, because that's what Snoop Dogg was called at the time of that. Red light, stop right there where you are. Saturn in Sagittarius. Okay, so I feel like this energy is Jupiter having gone direct mid-September, Saturn going direct end of September. In October, we're still feeling this sort of post-shadow effect, and we're not quite all the way upright or all the way inverted to kind of get out of this idea of burden, right? I have to do everything by myself. Like, oh my god, what the hell? Okay, so now we have the Chariot, Crazy Train. Right? Choo-choo, motherfucker! Running off the rails on the crazy train. Which is interesting, because stop and then off the rails. 17, star energy, Uranus currently retrograde. The Chariot, moon energy, Cancer showing up in your own reading. And then we have 3 of Pentacles in the challenge position. Now, interesting, because this is a very watery thing here. This is the song Overload. It was in Dirty Dancing, Alfie Zappacosta. Alright. So this squirrel charm came out, and I feel like this is like, I can't find my nuts. Like, I'm not prepared for the winter. I don't have enough resources. It wasn't inverted, but it did come out on the table like this. I mean, like sitting on my tail and doing not a whole hell of a lot, maybe. And then the I don't know why I said that weird. The candelabra was inverted. Moon energy, right? Nighttime. I'm going into the dark, blow out the candles. But not in a wish kind of way. It's like a cold breeze has come in and they've sort of fluttered out. What's interesting is I have a burden card. I have the song Overload. I have 3 of Pentacles. I'm having a hard time manifesting these plans. 10 here, 10, Judgment total. So it's going back into this, it's sort of like a karmic lesson or resolving karma in a way that's going to expand your overall vision as a soul. Well, 3 of Pentacles energy, Mars in Capricorn. Okay, so Mars retrograde in Aries at this time. and we see Mars coming in Capricorn. So one's going up, one's going down, and the card ends up sideways. So the difficulty is like I'm trying to steer I'm trying to drive this truckload of acorns to my next destination. I don't have a CDL. I'm like overweight for, like, my thing is overweight for the road, and the tires aren't inflated properly, and my gas tank is leaking. You know, it's sort of trying to overcome this concept of feeling utterly and completely overwhelmed and overloaded and like outclassed and out of gas type of energy, like alone in the dark. But here it's like this is happening so that you can see in the dark. So it's sort of a plan, and it's saying, you know, just stop and take a look and, you know, make sure that you're not, you know, putting on this mask of I'm fine if you're not fine, and just, you know, understand that you're allowed to need just something to keep you going. So let's look at this emotive area here with the humpback whale charm on it. I think this is the biggest charm, or it's at least the longest one. Protection. So we have a new moon happening here, a very eclipse thing. It looks a lot like the Ace of Pentacles in my music deck. And I'll see if, well, actually, let me see if it's in the deck still. Let me see if it's in here still. If it has not come out on the board yet, then I will pull it out. I will whip it out. Big good. When the cream sets out too long, you must whip it. Okay, this reminds me of this. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, also Sprach Zarathustra. This is what this reminds me of. So I'm going to leave this with this card. Protection. Call back your power, cut the cord, soul retrieval. Okay? So part of the reason that your soul family is in delay is so that you're not just relying on them. When your energy is sort of frayed and everywhere, you're not coming and saying, oh, can you help me? You know, I don't know where my shoes are, and I left my lunch at home, and I'm missing my homework and all this. And your soul family is like, well, we love you, so we're going to do it. But this is saying you need to have some way of learning to protect your energy and your emotional body on your own. And it's giving you this sort of new beginning, this new horizon in the darkness. It's giving you this new access to healing your body and manifesting like some kind of sustenance. So the whale here has to do, at least in this case and most of the time, with diving deeply, and then this idea of going into the darkness and the depths of the darkest emotions and coming up and sort of spewing out this negativity, right? The carbonation, and then, you know, taking a deep breath and sort of letting it all out. When it's come in with one of the tiniest charms that I have, the tetrahedron. This is fire energy, but it's also the smallest, sturdiest structure in the universe, and it's kind of giving a nod to the Ace of Pentacles, right? Where we're doing this and calling back our power and going deep emotionally to sort of pinpoint where our strength needs to be. And it doesn't matter if it's a tiny little speck of glitter deep in everything, it's going to give you that foundation to expand emotionally and not have your energy constantly drained. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Oh, I'm not doing that yet. So the information that's coming down into the 3D. Okay, so this is the Nine of Pentacles inverted. She's got a butterfly on her neck that's transformation. There's a little pink heart down here, which is sort of indicates to me a little bit of heart opening. This is sort of an elixir. She's got a little snake here trying to water the Kundalini energy, trying to hydrate her emotional content and transform the ability to communicate. This is coming in inverted though, which is sort of giving me hermit energy. And there's a sort of young feminine on here, so it's giving me, I mean, it's giving me that Virgo energy, definitely. Nine of Pentacles, Venus in Virgo. So I feel like this is actually saying, I know that I need to do inner child work. Right? When it's upright, sometimes this is like, oh, I'm happy and content. It's all the single ladies. Right? And sometimes when it's inverted, it's like, oh, we're getting married. But this is like, your inner child isn't experiencing, I'm alone and nobody likes me, because you're in there in your emotional content trying to nurture that which felt isolated. So the message is coming in, and it might not be entirely call back your power and manifest something, but it's like I'm starting to pinpoint what I need. Okay. So upright, I have this duck, fancy duck, and I have this fae person. It's supposed to be gender neutral, but essentially it's a fairy. I'm not quite sure. Okay. So the duck is going in the water, and it also can fly. I just heard foul. Like foul ball. Okay, the only thing I'm getting with this is, hey, listen. So I'm not sure what that means. Oh, okay. I feel like it's like, hey, listen, and then duck. Like someone's yelling, like, so you don't get hit in the head. Interesting. Okay, weird. I don't know what that's about. I have inverted charms. I have the unicorn. I have third eye opening here. Some kind of magical, mystical critter. I have the sword. So that's like Ace of Swords. And then I have the waste paper basket. I feel like these are similar. Right? The sword and then this here. And even in the Radley Valentine tarot deck there, the unicorns are what they have on the swords cards. It's like you wouldn't know the truth if it was stuck, like written on your own forehead. But why is the... And it's weird because I feel like someone's trying to cut off your psychic ability and throw it in the trash. And that might have been what was happening during the childhood. Right? Cancer, very psychic, very emotive, very empathic. And people around you growing up constantly trying to cut you away from this psychic ability. You know, oh, you're weird, I don't like you, stop that, you're creeping me out, or like, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. Right? They want to cut off your unicorn horn and drop it in the garbage, and this is like, hey, listen, duck. So when they come in with their trying to cut you off from your own ability, you're not going to do it. They're not going to be able to get you. And you see even here, the third eye is wide open. So it's healing a childhood wound in which external circumstances, the cords that you need to cut to other people who have taken your power and tried to extract you from your own soul. Okay, so let's see what the middle part is. Now, what's interesting is that I have a duck there who's aquatic. Aquatic. Just heard you quack me up. And other stupid puns. Okay, so on the middle pile here I have the shark, which is interesting because I have the whale and the duck. And this is Sharky Shark. Coming in with a 16-ton weight, which is often indicative of the tower. And then inverted, I have the coffee cup. No artificial enlightenment. Well, let me see what these cards are before I get into that, because the shark could mean a couple different things. So we have the Three of Swords inverted. So this is Uninvited by Alanis Morissette. I like the MTV Live Unplugged version, so that's what this picture's from. Three of Swords, Saturn in Libra, and it's coming in inverted. And I feel like this is a little bit of that Mars energy pulling Venus into inversion because it wants Venus to do the nurturing and not have to do the work itself. It came up heavily in Gemini's reading, but I haven't really seen it so far here. Because the explanation of Saturn coming out of retrograde recently, influencing this, doesn't feel right to me. But the main point of when Three of Swords is inverted is that there's a healing taking place, right? I'm taking the wounds out of my heart, which is exactly what I was talking about here. Notice that when it's upright, it's uninvited, right? Well, you can't sit with us. You don't belong here, or nobody likes me, right? And it's saying this is what you need to be working on. Seven of Swords inverted, so I have a 10 here, completion again. Notice there's a 3-7 split here also. Is this Midnight Creeper, Elton John? Seven of Swords, the moon in Aquarius. Alright, so here's Cancer showing up in their own reading again. We have Aquarius inverted. Uranus is retrograde. And then a moon, whenever it's inverted, tells me sun energy, and Venus is in Leo right now. So like what I said here of Martian energy wanting Venus to do the work for them is playing out here. But this is, fuck your apple cart, and this is, I am taking the apples too. Peace out, bitches. Okay. So, and then in the challenge position, we have the Page of Wands. Okay. Now, the song I have here is Such a Night. It's by Elvis, and this picture is actually from 3,000 Miles to Graceland. It was like a little thing at the end with Kurt Russell. Okay. And it's sort of like my one-night stand kind of energy. But the Page of Wands is someone who is sort of just starting to understand their own internal fire energy. Page of Wands, summer energy with Earth of Fire. Right, I'm trying to do a little bit of groundwork. I'm trying to get on my feet and lead from my solar center. I'm trying to be who I am. This is a 1 or an 11. So I see 10 and then I see 11. So what's happening is I go 10, 10 here, but in my heart I know I can get 10, 11. I can ramp it up just a little bit. Okay. Now, the tower here is this idea of restructuring, right? I'm flipping the script. I'm not going to have people saying you can't come here and take things from me. You're not gonna take myself from me, right? And it's sort of like the energy of people who try to keep you from being yourself are sort of bottom feeders. There's this like perpetual motion, right? Oh, I'm tired, I need a coffee, I gotta be peppy, I gotta be snappy, I gotta be this, I gotta be that. And you just wanna be in your own freaking energy and be able to feel your soul family, and it's been cut off from you. So it's giving more information of the details of what's been going on and what's starting to occur. A sip of water, and then I'll start the swords section. Alright, so we're going to look at the swords column. Thoughts and perceptions, communication. So in the challenge position, we have the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? This is a little bit like the Tower, but it's also like a portal. Right? It's like if you are having this internal transformative growth, you don't have to hide under this like box that other people have put you in. Right? You can let go of expectations of who you think you're supposed to be. Now, in the upright, I have the fisty kangaroo here. I have the money. Dollar bills, dollar bills, dollar bills, y'all. So, hopefully that's visible. I have my brand spanking new ice cream cone that I just made. And I have the scroll. I'm not quite sure what that means yet. In the reverse, I have the sun. And the rowboat. So this boat to me is essentially the Six of Swords, which is Mercury and Aquarius. So Mercury is in Libra right now, which is ruled by Venus. So we have possibly Virgo energy again, and possibly Gemini energy. I'm going to say it's probably Virgo because we had Virgo come in here already. And then inverted, that tells me Uranus retrograde. Uranus is retrograding in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus as well. So when I have this basically Six of Swords energy, it tells me we need to go deeper. And the sun energy inverted tells me the moon, which also has to do with darkness, secrets, secretions, nightmares, stuff that's been sort of suppressed and pushed under the rug. Oh. What the hell? I just sneezed out a piece of lettuce from my sandwich a few hours ago. I feel like this is like I'm frozen out But also I get this idea of like sweetening the deal. And the scroll is either that information that's down in the depths, but I feel like it might also be contracts, right? I'm trying to sweeten the deal, but if you don't do what I want, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. Like, it packs a punch. Yeah, it packs a punch, and I'm going to sweeten the deal. I'm not quite sure what that means with those charms, so I might come back to that in a minute. So let's see what's coming in the 3D in terms of communication and thoughts. There's a lot of charms on this card as well, so I feel like there's kind of a scrambling of the thoughts. Four of Cups inverted. Four of Cups is the moon in Cancer, so we have the moon card inverted. That's sun energy again. That goes back to Venus and Leo. Now this dude here in this deck, he's looking at himself in the mirror, and he's got scars and he's got a busted eyeball because he's been through a lot of battles. And you know, he may have been kind of a dick in the past, and he's looking in the mirror and he's like, you know what, I've been through a lot and maybe I made some mistakes, but I'm actually, like, I'm a salvageable person. I have value. I'm worth it. So this card is a little bit different in this deck than usual. But it's coming in inverted. And I feel like this energy is saying, I'm gaining some illumination, right? I've gone into the depths. And I'm starting to realize that, you know, maybe everything doesn't suck. So I feel, okay. I keep going over and over in my head all these past battles that I've gone through. Like, what's it all for? What does it mean, right? Why am I clinging to this? I'm not quite sure about the sweetening the deal thing yet, though. Maybe that's in the middle. Okay. Alright, so upright charms, I have the goat, so that's Capricorn energy, Saturn energy. I have a balloon. We all float down here. Wouldn't you like to ride on my beautiful balloon? Way up in the sky in my beautiful balloon. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. That's the Fifth Dimension. They also did the Age of Aquarius song. And then I have the calendar, which might be like the new year. And I feel like that goes with the Capricornian energy, because we have that December, January, New Year flip over right after Capricorn starts. I'm being compelled to turn over a new leaf and sort of come out of floating in these shark-infested waters and try to raise my energy up a little bit. Now, I have charms that are inverted as well. So I have my brand spanking new bat that I made. Is that better? Slightly more visible. Coming in inverted. So I'm getting a little bit more of daylight sun time energy because bats are normally nocturnal, but it could also be like something I didn't see coming. Like I had no radar, no sonar to pick it up. I have the cowboy hat inverted, so I'm not quite sure what that's doing yet. I have the lily inverted. Interesting. And I have the telephone inverted. Okay. What does that mean? I don't know why these charms are not making sense to me right now. I mean, the bat and the telephone go together. That's like making a call, a ring, pinging, dial tone. Interesting, okay. It's like, I'm not going to heed your call, like, to arms. And then with this lily, even though it's not even the same kind of flower, and the cowboy hat, it reminds me of this book that I had when I was little, called The Legend of the Blue Bonnet. I think it was retold, but it was a Tommy DePaula book, I'm pretty sure. And I don't remember what it was about, but it was this thing, like the Native Americans were looking for like a sign from spirit or something because of the blue bonnet flower at a certain time every year. And like it wasn't happening, and then either somebody had some kind of spiritual download or somebody actually went out and planted some, and then there was like a whole friggin' goddamn field of them. So I don't remember how that goes. I guess I didn't keep my copy of that. Weird, okay. I'm still not quite sure what these mean though. I need to clarify these charms because this is not making sense. I'm going to clarify it with cards. Clarify the charms for the crumbling. This is how you know I'm not bullshitting, because if I was just trying to be fancy and, you know, come up with a good story, I'd have to, like, there would be no breaks in the action. It would just be like a smooth, you know, look at me kind of a reading. But it would, you know, it's, the information isn't always clear when it comes in. Have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Okay, this is that sweetening the deal. Don't focus on every single past battle that you've had to overcome. Part of letting go of stuff that's sort of weighing you down from the past is sort of just lightening your energy up by letting yourself enjoy anything a little bit. And just sort of letting it go in a sense of sort of enjoyment and frolicking. You're allowed to have fun ever. Right? Spend a little money, have some treats, like treat yourself. There we go, play, treat yourself. It wasn't sweet in the deal necessarily. That was weird. Alright, so let me explain. Let me actually get a card for that blue bonnet thing. I am surprised how frustrating I find that cowboy hat. Okay, that doesn't help me. One more card for the blue bonnet thing. Okay. So I've got desire 20 inverted and the child 1 inverted. Total energy, the earth 21, well, the world 21 inverted in normal tarot. These are slightly abnormal. This is sort of like an extra, like a higher vibration version of the Hermit. It's kind of like the Hermit and the Hierophant crossed together. 20 where judgment would normally be, it's desire. And then 1 where the Magician would normally be, we have the child, which is in the Syrian Starseed deck. Number 1 is Indigo, which is actually a child. Let me see if it's in here, because if it came out as the thing, then obviously I wouldn't be able to have it. Where are you? There it is. Alright. In the Syrian Starseed, the Magician card is Indigo, which is actually a child. And it's very similar to the coloration on here. It's having to do with the third eye and a little bit more of that crown energy as well. Right, they've both got something in their hands. They're both trying to have this expansive energy, but it's coming in inverted. Magician energy is Mercury, and it's coming in inverted. Now, if this is the Hierophant, that's Taurus energy inverted, Venus inverted. And if it's the Hermit, it's going to be Mercury inverted, Virgo energy, which feeds back into that same loop of energies. And this is relating to here. So I'm getting this idea that, oh, and it's a Legend of the Blue Bonnets too, which are sort of like purpley blue colored, which could also be indigo. Okay, I see. Things that you desire in a childlike, whimsical nature are not foolish. They're part of honoring all parts of yourself. And it's this idea that if you've been previously cut off from that, it's part of what you're trying to heal. And I feel like it didn't make sense because it's sort of obscured. Like, I don't know what these symbols mean, right? I'm having a hard time connecting to my psychic ability. And I might be missing synchronicities because I've been told that I can't have and I can't be what I want. But here it's more of that inner child healing, and it's coming from more of a, like, I'm not feeling my inner wounds and trying to heal them through love. I'm trying to reason out why I've been hurt and accept that I'm not a bad person inside for what's been happening. So let me try and get some information on why I've got this bat and this telephone here. Nope. I think I just want this one card. So here's 9. It's knowledge. So this is where the this is where the Hermit would normally be. And so this one is called knowledge. And it's kind of like a junior magician, which is kind of what was coming out in these other cards too. It looks like Hermione wearing pants. I'm also getting that it's a little bit like the Fool, because the symbol on the book reminds me of Uranus. So it's like a combination of the Magician, the Hermit, and the Fool. So knowledge. But why are these inverted? Okay, I see. These were, the bat and the phone had come out inverted. It's like saying every time I got into a rhythm with my psychic intuition and was able to start perceiving things and started getting some information about my psychic abilities or my empathic abilities, there'd be this interruption, somebody coming in with this like loud, obnoxious, interrupting. And so every time I started out to try to learn about what was going on with me again, I had to start out as if I were like a kid on my first day. It interrupted so many times. Okay, I get it. Which is, part of why there's this Capricornian energy with the calendar. It's like, how many years do I have to spend, feeling like crap because of stuff that happened already? I just want to, let it go. Don't actually let your balloons go, because that's shitty to do to the environment. Alright, so let's look at the middle here after all that. Alright, so Saturn energy right away. Capricorn energy again. So I have the camera. The idea of like take a picture, it'll last longer. Or like you don't have to keep replaying it in your head over and over again. Like if you've got it written down somewhere, you made a note, you got your photo of something from the past, just chuck it in the binder and let it be there. Alright, so what have we got here? Death, inverted. In the Hall of the Mountain King, Apocalyptica. Interesting. It's an interesting song. Pluto is retrograde until October 4th, I think. This is an internal transformation. The Fool inverted. So this is Wake Me Up by Avicii. Uranus retrograde. And then we have the Ace of Wands. So this is Enter the Circus and Welcome by Christina Aguilera. And the Back to Basics album. 13 and 0 and 1. Okay. Now what also came out was the Egg inverted, right? The Fool inverted. I'm going to repeat that. And then I have the Mouth inverted. And I just heard Kiss It Goodbye. Alright, so that's the death cycle. Okay. So I was picking up the camera again and I heard snap, snap, grin, grin, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Saying them all. It was like the third Monty Python reference I've gotten this week doing tarot. There we go. Or also during tarot. But what does the camera mean? Let me take another card for the camera because I'm not really getting that. Give me a card for the camera. Oh, I got one flipped over. Oh, of course. Alright. I was right the first time. I don't know why I had to go back and do that. Six of Cups inverted. San Francisco, be sure to wear flowers in your hair, Scott McKenzie. Interesting. This is what's the difference on here. So this is this same energy, but it's inverted to explain the camera. So this is like, I'm not romanticizing the past, right? I'm gonna, it's a snapshot in time. I'm gonna let it go and let it be there, right? I'm going to stop clinging to it. So like I said, take a picture, it'll last longer. You won't have to keep mulling it over in your head, and that's part of the transformation there. In terms of what you're thinking about. Saturn's just there as a Capricorn energy, that taskmaster, that I need to get through this kind of energy. I think Jupiter is actually in Capricorn still. So let's... Oh, that kind of hurt. I love how my throat goes to shit when I try to do a bunch of tarot readings at once. And I don't even start and it just like seizes up. It's probably a personal problem. Oh, let's put this back together. There we go. Alright. So in the Pentacles energy, for that body manifestation sort of energy, unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past life. So this is the same story going out here. It came in inverted, which just means a delay or confusion. But I feel like it's saying specifically inverted because it's taking this moon energy and trying to turn it around. Right? It's like, hey, Cancer, get yourself, like, turn the other cheek, kind of. Like, look at it from the other side. Do, like, turn and go the other way. Alright? So, again, let go. Cut the cord, soul retrieval. Pull back your energy, disentangle from past lives, right? Leave it in the past, and to double down on that point, we have the Stegosaurus, right? Let go of those past lives. Starseed, what lights you up? Okay, so let go of all that crap that's happened. And we have Saturn and we have Jupiter over here. Those energies, it's like, you know what's been hurting you. What makes you happy? What are those things that you wanted as a kid that really let your body release the tension, right? You're like trying to get your past lives out of the very cells of your body. And then I have the peace sign as well, right? What makes you happy? What just allows you to just take a deep breath and just go like, ah, yes, I'm feeling it. So inverted, I have this wolf, but I think in this case it's going to be coyote. I have the chalet. And we have the rose. Okay. So in the past, in order to get you moving further along your path, this trickster energy has come in and said, oh, just kidding, you thought you were getting a rose, I gave you mostly thorns. But this is so that you would have a beginning of a foundation and a new understanding of things. But we're not doing that anymore. We're moving into a different realm where you have the ability to consciously create and manifest something that actually resonates with you and has this sort of abundant flow that's sort of like a slowly snowballing to bring you into this fifth dimension. Let's see what's coming in the 3D. Seven of Cups. Okay, so there's a lot of water here, which makes sense because it's Cancer. Seven of Cups energy. Venus in Scorpio. This is usually that bunch of shit in the cups distracting. A lot of people say it's options, but I say it's more like a clusterfuck of avoidance and things like that. Now, the way that I'm seeing this card, it actually reminds me more of the Seven of Wands. I feel like I'm letting down my guard, but it's more like I'm letting myself free fall into myself. It's that Fool energy that's coming in from the thoughts. It's starting to manifest in the physical body, right? I'm unbinding myself. I'm taking a deep breath and I'm letting go. I'm going to sink into these waters and find out what does light me up. So there's a little bit of that coming in, but it feels more like a little bit like, I don't know what I need yet. So for charms, I have the stick a fork in me, I'm done. That's like 10 of swords for me. Right? I'm letting myself drown. I'm stopping the fight. I'm letting go. I'm no longer going to you know, involve myself in these battles that I don't need to. And then going the other way, I have the sugar bowl, right? Again, I get this idea of, you know, I thought I was getting roses, but just kidding, I didn't get the sweet stuff. I got the stabbed in the heart stuff. And it's like I know I need to let go of that. I need to get over, like I need to let it flow out of me. So in the middle section, interestingly enough, the mermaid, gender neutral mer person with long hair. Okay, so 5 of Pentacles inverted. This is Don't Come Around Here No More, Tom Petty. This is sort of matchy-matchy with the 3 of Swords. Now this battery's gonna die. God damn it! Mercury and Taurus inverted. So I feel like this inversion coming in with Taurus has to do with Uranus retrograding in Taurus. But it's still those same other energies. Venus energy being pulled upside down, possibly by that Mars energy, which isn't really appearing in this reading at all. But again, it's like overcoming this, you're like, we don't want you here, you can't play with us energy. It's shifting, right? Number 5, it's a pivot away from it. I have a Queen of Swords, give me some truth. Okay, this is actually good here. This isn't the off with your head Queen of Swords. This is, you know, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I'm transforming my life. And I'm not going to take any shit from anybody anymore. Right? I rule the truth of my life. Not quite there yet, but starting to let go of the 10 of Swords here and saying, no, I don't need that anymore. And then we have the Moon inverted, Queen of the Night. Very interesting, right next to the Queen of Swords. So again, Cancerian energy itself appearing in the reading. 18 breaking down to 9, which we've seen 9 energy repeatedly. Usually leaning into that Virgo, Mercurial energy. That's sort of, you know, getting a little bit more in contact with the abundant, nurturing energy of the Empress or Venus. And again, it's this idea of illumination by sinking down into the depths of what's in there. 9 and 5 is 14, so they do have a balance here. And again, this mermaid is going to be swimming into the depths of the issues. And I see that here. It's like I'm not diving, but I'm just letting myself sink into it a little bit. Right? I've done more than get my feet wet. Alright. I gotta change the battery and get another section. Alright, so we're going to get into this after reading card here, the oracle for this reading. 9 of Orbs in the challenge position. So there's a 9 again. 9 of Swords is the Nightmares card. The energy is, there it is finally, Mars in Gemini. Okay. So there's some of the Mercurial energy. Gemini is also the North Node right now, in place of where Cancer would normally be. And like I said, Mars is retrograding in Aries. And in general, if the Nine of Swords goes up inverted, it's saying I'm releasing the nightmares. With this in the challenge position, the whole point of this reading is that there's a healing to do that does have some to do with balancing out masculine and feminine energy, because we all have both. Right? Masculine energy is that like the Martian energy, if it's distorted, it wants to dominate. Right? Cancer tends to, I was going to say Cancer tends to be more passive. That might not be true for everybody. But the moon is reflecting the sun's light, like in actuality in the sky. And in that way, it is more passive in the energy that comes from moon energy in Cancer. You know, it's very feminine, it's very watery, very emotive, very psychic, very, nourishing, nurturing, right? We need water to survive. And, there's a way for Cancer to gain the aspects of Martian energy, but they're sort of struggling to catch hold of it while it's retrograde. Right? Because Mars energy in its positive aspect has to do with diplomacy, negotiations, sort of like know thy enemy. It's sort of like learning about other people before judging them, finding out like mutual benefits, like learning through differences, investing in growing new projects or new things, new passions, things like that. It's that spring energy, that ram energy, that like we're gonna climb this mountain and put a tree up there because fuck yeah. And Cancer kind of needs some of that energy, and it's kind of like it's been beaten out of Cancer, that no, you're not allowed to be that assertive in any way. And to the point where there isn't really any conflict cards in here. It's more like theft and abuse kind of energy. Or it's like instead of fighting, it's like, oh, ow, that hurts, I'm just gonna, never mind. Like a wilted flower. And this Nine of Orbs is saying, I'm working on getting out of this nightmare so that I can harness Martian energy and be able to possess that Gemini duality of water and fire, light and dark, masculine and feminine, and be able to add those energies to my mercurial communication skills. Gizmo's here. We're studying the details, right? There's rules, regulations, negotiations. Things get a little nuts if you get him wet. And also if he gets into some sunlight. So it's again that sort of weird place of being stuck between the water and the fire. I also have the Ankh, if I can pick it back up. And to me, this is sort of like in the past, right? In my past lives, in the past in my life, I'm trying to get a new kind of energy. And then in reverse, I have the water droplet in the tree. And I had said that water is necessary for life, right? No water, no tree. You can climb that mountain and stick the roots in there all you want, but without any water, without that, like, resonant with the universe life force, there will be no growth. Okay? So this is, you know, a really serious and painful and kind of emotive place for Cancer to be for October. And on top of that, there's 2 full moons in October. So there's going to be maximum illumination while Mars is retrograding. And I think it's going to be a perfect time for Cancer to be able to get as close to that fire energy as they can. Now, in between those 2 full moons, there's gonna be a new moon, and that's the point where you can harness that cutting and then like unplugging it and plugging it back in kind of energy, right? Dump the stuff and then start the new stuff, so that by the second full moon, when the cycle repeats, you'll be able to have more of the illumination and less of this, like more of the play, more of the illumination, more of the what lights you up than the I'm struggling to let go, where's everybody feeling. Alright, so if you want to get a personal reading, there we go. Oh, no, the other way. There we go. You can hit me up, thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. The complete list of readings I have and how much they cost is in the description box of my infomercial video. It's going to be linked below this one. This reading that I did, the Block Moguls, is $37. With charms added to it, it's $44 because it's $7 for charms for any reading. Yeah, so that list of readings is in the description box of my infomercial video. I'm going to be putting the link in the comment underneath this post. If you want to help keep my stuff going here for more content in the future, you can level up on Patreon if that's still available to you, and you can always hit the tip jar, paypal.me/CATtheMinion. I also have Cash App and Venmo. I've got merch and prints over on Cafe Press and DeviantArt. I've got a couple of playing card decks and a couple of poker chips over on makeplayingcards.com. I'm eventually actually going to have like oracle type cards. I just haven't finished those decks yet. I have coloring books and a Dark Night of the Soul style poetry book over on Amazon with the Kindle Direct Publishing there. I also have my catalog. There should be a post to this down there on Patreon somewhere. I got more chapbook packs if you want a little synchronicity stimulus packet there. I've got digital portraits, foam lotuses, stuffed animals. Art a la carte, that's individual pieces, drawings, paintings, and whatnot. Once they're gone, they're gone. So all that stuff, all this stuff, all that information is going to be listed together in that description box there, or just email me and I'll get it to you that way. So if you're not already subscribed on Open YouTube, go ahead, like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.